thing here. Giant. Right, come on. The bee apiary, how it's shaped out to be. This is the one at home, and this is where I work on all the babies. It's a mixture of nucs. You can see here. Here was 2, 3, 4, 5 virgins at one point. Virgin queens, and I was waiting on them all mating, and they all came out of this hive here. So they're all related, and they're all laying. Apart from this one actually, which is a swarm, which from Lauder, and I brought this one in, and I decided I'll put it here because then I know that everything here, I'm waiting to see if they've got laying queens. And the raspberries are doing fantastic this year. We've had loads of raspberries. Lovely big juicy things. Here was my station of mating nucs. Now I had 6 in total. 2 were abandoned. You wonder where they go, but anyways, obviously 300 bees in each. I often find when I open them that the ones that have abandoned, maybe the queens died, but I do actually find that the bees and the others multiply. Whether they, when the queens go out, whether they drag in other bees from the surrounding hives, I don't really know, but you put in 300, and honestly each of these little mating nucs jam-packed with bees, which is good at this time of year, because the wasps is the thing. You can't really start new mating nucs this time of year. The wasps just hammer them, just destroy them. And you can find here, you can see, this is interesting, when I've written on this hive, it's obviously been a wet day, and it has smudged beyond the point of recognition, but if you write on a dry day, it doesn't smudge. So it's a learning point for me. It's worth having some tissue paper on just to wipe the hive down before you crack on. But you see Queen Right 1807, so I can't actually remember going into this hive, but I went into this hive 3 days ago. It's now the 21st, and I assessed it, and I decided I'm happy with it, with where it is, which is interesting. We can have a quick look in these little nucs because they've got a plastic screen board. So without bothering the bees too much, you can see they're only on 3 frames, extending to another one. So we can see that this is the right size box for this nuc. Nothing needed other than to let them grow to the end of the year, or I can try and feed them frames of brood and keep them going. Again, another mating nuc. There's actually said, this is interesting, that says flew away on the 12th, so I just shut the lid. She flew off in the distance, but there was eggs at that point, and I came back on the 18th, which is pretty much a week later really. Found her, marked her, she's in there, and I know I really need to harvest this as soon as possible. So I actually don't have any space. I've got too many mated queens. I don't need her, so I've offered her to a friend who's going to come and get her as soon as he can. I don't think I've got to this mating nuc. It says eggs seen on the 12th, so really I should go into that today and see what I've got, because it's really worth knowing. Again, this is Queen Right on the 16th, so I went into that 5 days ago. Brood needed, BN. Now I absolutely know, actually, because I've got the memory, I've not written it on, I only had 5 minutes. I've added a frame of brood to this. The day later, it was the 17th, I gave this a frame of brood. But you can see, on the 3rd I've said, oh, it's not a lot of bees, and it took me actually into the 17th, so it's a lot of days until it took me to actually give it what it needed. But anyways, we are getting on top of it. Queen Right 1607 BN, which means brood needed. Again, they were giving on the 17th, they were giving a frame of capped brood just to boost their numbers. Nothing wrong with these guys, and these guys might actually be ready. The bees that you can see flying around is from this hive. This was a swarm in St Boswell's. I gave them some brood frames to boost them numbers. I actually combined, when I harvested a queen off another swarm, I harvested the numbers. Now this is interesting. I think I will look into this today. It's been 9 days, and we'll see if this is ready to upgrade into a hive, because I'm needing these boxes really. I could do with making a few more splits, using up some of these queens that hang around, I'm putting them into these boxes. This is a hive making honey. It's had 3 frames harvested from it, 1 frame harvested from it. VG means very good. This is a bought for queen, and Italians from Bee Equipment.co.uk, and they're just producing loads of bees. They're absolutely been great. Frames laid side to side with eggs. This is homebred queen. No, actually Bee Equipment queen. Okay, Bee Equipment queen. It's not as good. This. I have taken 3 frames from it, but it's just not bounced as quickly as this one has. Taking much longer to build up. But queen, she seems good. You know, she's nothing wrong with her. They're just a bit slower, which is okay. Slow is okay. Now these guys seem monstrously high, and that's because I've given them a super. They're on double brood with a super, and that's just an empty box on top with a feeder, which is they're not being fed at the minute. And I don't know why. I did go into this on the 17th, but there's absolutely no writing. This says too much space on the 23rd of 6, and that's almost half a month I left them. No looking in them, no management for a full half a month. And I've got queen right, 12/7, and it's no longer too much space. I crossed it out, so I decided they're in the right size hive. I can probably leave these guys another week. Now, sometimes small colonies can swarm. I've seen it happen, but the odds are very low. So a fantastic way of doing it is just to actually give a nuc too much space and just let them have had it. You know, all it's not very good use of resources. I could have had a honey making bee strength colony in here, but actually I didn't have use of it. It was sitting doing nothing in the equipment store, and I wanted to make more nucs, so I chucked them in there, and basically no management for a month. This is queen right, BN, which means brood needed. This is queen right, NS means not seen, so she's the new queen. I remember she's again one of the ones that are over there, but I've not seen her. So the last time I saw eggs, I was happy with the colony, but NS means not seen. So worth me actually looking to this today. So just had a walk around the apiary, and I know that I've got to look in that swarm there from Lauder. I've got to look into this hive. I've got to look into the mating box that's there. And I've also got to look at the hive that's behind those raspberries to see if they're strong enough to move into a big hive. Well, there you go. I've just been looking through this hive, and I've just saw this frame. I'm actually, bear with me, I'm just going to pop this back because it's not the warmest of days, but I saw this frame, and on it was Her Majesty. This is the best time to do it. Have a little look on this last little frame. I mean, that is, you know, for the first round of bees, that's all you can hope for. Look at that, absolutely lovely capped brood. That's the first frame she's laid on. You know, you can't hope for more than that. This hive is got all that they need to succeed. Right, so what did I see? Why have I started videoing? Because I saw Queenie. And you have to take your glove off, and you have to grab her. Now this thing is a queen marking cage. It's about a £5. And this other one is a queen marking cage. It's about the same price. Oh, I think it's been melted actually. You can see now it's been melted. There's a hole there. So this one's going to go in the bin. But anyways, you kill queen quite often by squishing too hard. So these are cheap. They're easy to use, but there is that risk. Where this one actually has a stopper, so it's a bit harder, I find, to kill queens because I've just squished it all the way. It's not actually going up anymore. It's not, you know, I can't push it anymore, and that's the perfect place for me to get a pen and marker. Just I'm leaning you on a fence post here. There you go. There's my other pen. So I'm not fussy about colours. They're a very dark queen. Love the colours actually, but I'm not going to mark this queen. I'm not going to mark her blue, am I? Which is this year's colour, 2020. I'm going to mark her a colour where if I'm actually looking for her, I can find her. And I'm selling to local people, so I can actually just say, you know, I don't know what, I can't remember what colour, what year green is, but it's certainly not this year. So they might question and think she's an old queen I'm selling them. But the reality is, you know, most folk will trust you. And there she is. Now, how you let her free? These bees are not particularly liking me marking their queen above them and waving hands all over the place. But the way you release this, I always find, is do it where it's got comb. And if I open that right now, I can sever her head. So really important. I have severed a head this season with this thing. So what you do is I tend to give it a knock so she's... open it up completely. Give it a little knock and get her down to the bottom. And then I can open, there you go, and just hold it down. You can't quite see from this angle, but she's still in there. But I'm just waiting for her. Just waiting for her to walk down herself. I think she might actually. Yeah, she's still in there. There you go. She's seeing the hole now. And she's walked down. A little bit of patience releasing the queen. Otherwise, she could quite easily fly away. So that's me. The other thing I'm going to do is just put some. I've got this, which is very highly inefficient. Apiary var. It's not brilliant stuff, but everything in here has been treated with better varroa treatment, and this stuff was cheap this year. So I am using it up, and you have to leave it on when temperatures are colder. You have to leave it on longer. Anyways, it's more of a double Dutch. This I've not treated this colony. It's a swarm that's come in. I don't want them to infect my apiary with high bee numbers of varroa. I haven't seen any varroa. I think they're perfectly healthy. But I'm just going to put this on. Anyways. Well, I've looked at it. I found the queen. I've marked her. There's no eggs though, so I think she's still a virgin. She's got time. Another 10 days and I will kill her. Marking her makes it much easier to kill her. There you go, that's the hive in place, and that's the old hive. Now, as the bees are flying away from where I'm working, which is this hive down here, they'll fly back to this hive that I've moved and into the front entrance. Let's take the lid off. And there we go. You can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 frames and a little side frame here. So let's remove. Now what you do with these things, this time of year, it's very key to not get these guys being hurt by wasps. So I've taken 6 frames out there. I'm just going to take out 7. You'll see why. 6 frames in here and I've taken out 7. But that is the entrance down there. And what I want to do is I want to get the activity of the bees to be outside of the entrance. I've even, this late in the season, I've even drilled holes sometimes up here and blocked off there, because the bees sometimes don't really have much activity on the bottom of the frames. But if you can get an activity right outside the hole that the bees are coming in and out of, the wasps are deterred by it. And you find that they protect themselves better. You want to get bees coming in and out or right by the hole. So this is why I've done this. I'm going to get cracking, get some frames out of here. I don't have 2 hands, so I'll just stop recording and get these bees into here. And hopefully at some point I'll see Queenie. Another frame. Each time I'm looking for Queenie. I've actually not seen eggs yet. A warning sign. Larvae but no eggs. eggs here. There's good. You probably can't see, but there's eggs at the back of these frames here. Yeah, there's brood frames like this. This is why this hive needs, because when this hatches, yeah, you're going to be in trouble. This has lots of eggs in it everywhere. I haven't seen Queenie yet. Here's Queenie, running up and down, queen back. So we get her. Now this is just a frame of nectar and honey. Nothing in there. So what we'll do, I'll show you what we'll do to rescue that frame that we put in there. Let's just find Queenie. Find Queenie. There she is, in the middle of the frame. I can put that in there without squishing her. I'm going to have to take this out though. We can't put that frame there. You just got to be wise, because a new frame, when you're splitting the brood nest like that, has to go between, always goes between two frames of drawn out brood of brood that is capped. And what we could do is we could pop it there, but I'm actually just going to leave this hive alone for a week, because they've only got 4 frames of brood, so I'm just going to leave them. And if they had 6 I would split it, but they're just going to leave them. And this again is just honey. Now over the next few weeks I'll be watching this hive and making sure they're going to fill all these brood. If they're not, I'm going to have to take frames out of this hive and put them into out of another hive rather, and put them into this, because I must make sure every frame is filled with honey. It's the 11th of August now, so they've roughly got a month to do it. That's a big ask for a hive of only 4. So I can guarantee this is going to need another 2 frames of capped brood, and maybe another 2 of honey as well, just to actually get them full. If they had 6 frames of capped brood, then they'd be fine. They could do it all themselves. So. I think here. Sorry.